we go.
Farm companion.
A matter of time before we say hunt.
Farm companion, baby.
We actually did some farm stuff this last week, huh?
I wish it would be fun for people, I think, to like follow. Like that right there is what it is. Like getting the farm stuff done.
Yeah.
It's calling and coordinating. It's calling and ordering chemical. It's calling and, scheduling the machine. And like it, I mean, on the out of state stuff, especially, it just
coordination,
knowing the people and making the calls and getting the thing done. And
yeah, they don't get to see that. And that's the other thing I was talking to Nick about it the other day is like, I know a lot of times it would help you guys listening to this to visually see like an overlay of the farm when we're talking about it and stuff. So we got to figure out how to do that at some point, but
okay.
We's not as educated yet for that.
Yeah. Well, just imagine, imagine.
Use your imagination.
Use your imagination. It's a CRP field.
Reading rainbow.
It looks like. So, well, that call that I just got off there was with the local co-op. So like
in Illinois.
In Illinois. Yeah. We have about 40 acres of CRP that we're hoping to get sprayed and managed for some of the warm season grasses in there. They're just getting overrun with cool seasons, fescue and stuff like that. So.
And we didn't even know. I didn't know we could even do that per the CRP contracts. We actually got a notice from the NRCS office from an audit they did last year that said, hey, you guys have a bunch of cool seasons. You need to nuke them.
It's funny how you reach, like how I've gone until now, you know what I mean, to learn something like the biggest thing I learned recently was managing for cool seasons in warm season grass stands with glyphosate in April.
Yeah.
Late March, early April timeframe. That is, I think, a very critical piece of information. And I pieced it together, and then finally, Skip Sly was the guy who was like, this is what you do. Go do it right now."
It's there. It's just suppressed because of the cool season grasses and stuff. Forbes.
And he's like, "Man, I saw 10 fires. Everybody's just throwing matches everywhere, trying to burn stuff off, or they're mowing their switchgrass." I'm like, dude, it doesn't do anything for the cool season grasses. You have to
kill them,
kill it out of there, and release the warm seasons.
Yeah. In fact, that was what the Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife told me on my fallow fields. They're like, hey, just come in here in April, spray all these cool season grasses, and then that'll at least get you in a good direction to see what you got.
You got to make sure you have the good stuff in there. So like in my Ohio farm, part of me was like, I should go spray, but the warm seasons aren't there, and there are some broadleafs, but I just don't think that they alone are what I'm after. So I think I'm going to have to reset some of that stuff that I burned in years past. I'm going to have to put some switch in it and manage the cool seasons and maybe whatever on top of that if we have plantings. Or, dude, and I know we seem to always land on this, is like I want more than anything to go to every consultant who's worth a thing and be like, here's the test question. You have a Here's a switch. Okay, that gets you in the door.
Yeah, that gets you in the door.
Here's a 40-acre farm field.
Yep.
Turn this into the best deer habitat that you can, and show your work.
Yep.
And to see what they come up with.
Yep.
You can let it go. You can spray it. You can turn it. You can plant into it.
Yeah.
What is the mixture that creates the best deer habitat? Period.
Yeah, and I think that's a big question.
As much as we've talked about it, I don't know the answer, and it pisses me off.
Well, I think it's because it varies. So Madison and I, so Tuesday.
There's no timber. You can't cut the timber.
I know. That's what I was saying. So Tuesday, we were down in the Ohio farm, and Madison came over. We're just checking in on progress now, kind of this going into the second summer after a cut. And, he brought his drone down, which was really cool because I've been asking, I'm like, I have this thing, I don't know how to fly it. So he brought it down, we put it up, he was showing me how to pick out deer on the thermal camera, which seems obvious, but it's not. Like, especially now where we're getting a little bit of canopy cover, and we were doing that during the sunlight hours of the day, so like there's more things lighting up. We did find a nice buck too, by the way.
Did you?
Yeah, good start on
all
him.
nubbed up, huh?
And so anyways, we were talking about that. And so the question we were like, hey, what do we do with these fields? Like, how's this all work? And he's had several people where he's gone out and done surveys for them, and like we'll go through switch fields and stuff and find like a doe like in the switch fields. And then there'll be like literally wide ass open timber, and there'll be like half a dozen plus bucks just boom in the timber. Like, I think it's just so like geographically relevant. Like I think in Kansas
and habitat
Iowa
dependent.
Yeah, I mean, I think those places, those big CRP fields are used and they bed in them and they do that. I think in other places where it's primarily timber, it's just, engraved in their brain that they are in the timber. I don't think they're going to use it. I'm at that. I mean, I'm not anti-switch. I do not think that they will use switch.
Well, they will use it, but they may
bedding.
not bed in it. Yeah.
I do not think that they will use it. There's no benefit to them besides security cover. Like there is no thermal benefit really.
But you think they'll bet on the edge of it?
Well, it depends what's on the edge.
Right.
What is it the edge with? If it's the edge is a trail that we're walking on.
Well, no, obviously not. But yeah, I don't know.
Woods?
Yeah.
Then maybe. But are they in the woods or are they in the switch?
You're gonna have to come out and see where I'm spraying.
Yeah, I'm not,
because I think the does will bed around the edge of it. The edge being yes, fingers of timber.
Yeah,
but it's really edge of old pasture. So it's kind of just an open.
You're thinking on the edge of old pasture where the switch meets the old pasture,
which is shortly thereafter met by the timber of finger.
Mm-hmm.
Finger of timber.
I think you'll see them more in the finger of timber because of the insulation.
Maybe.
I don't think you'll see them.
And that's fine. I'm good with that.
And I say that because let's use everybody can close your eyes. You can imagine that finger of timber running out in a field. If you've got 20 feet of switch as a buffer around that finger,
they'll bed in it like crazy.
No reason to plant 20 acres. Right? In these scenarios that we're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's just it's like explore the space. You know what I mean? So
the thing is, you can't. I'm sorry, not to interrupt.
No, you're fine.
The thing is, on your farm, you can't just cut timber to make more habitat.
Sure, I can.
Well, no. You can't.
I can't just do it.
Well, right. But there's.
It's not going to fill the pasture space.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You have to plant something. Mm-hmm. Right. You have to fill.
That's what I'm saying. Yes, you got to explore the space.
Whereas on my side, I don't need to. Like I've got cover everywhere. I just need to make it thicker.
Yeah.
So I think that's the piece to do.
Should give a shout out to Isaac at Trophy Rock. Frickin' hooked us up. Oh, I have all that stuff in my truck for you.
I'm gonna take some to Kentucky.
Yeah, he sent us a whole pallet of
boy Isaac.
Everything. So yeah, thank you, Isaac. I got a bunch of mine out the other day. I have more too. So
in the eyes of Isaac, I am the third best deer biologist.
Third best deer biologist in the nation.
You'll get a crack out of that one.
That was funny.
Yeah, third best.
Anyways, I mean, the Trophy Rock is not a sponsor of ours, but they have sent us some stuff here for the past.
We've used the hell
3
out of
years.
it.
I say Trophy Rock, it's Redmond Hunt, and dude, it's.
Yeah.
We don't hunt over it, obviously, because it's like, but
now's the time though. Between now and like through August, like my cameras will slowly shift to mineral.
Yeah, it's the inventory provider.
It's the inventory provider.
And there's a health benefit too and stuff, I'm sure. But that's where we get all of our pictures in the summer. So.
Yep. So yeah, we'll get some of that. Anyways, but yeah, so I think it is very situational to the property. So case in point, Illinois is much more like your farm than it is like my other farms. Mm-hmm. We have more open space that we need to insulate these timber fingers and things like that with. Yeah. So I do think it will be a huge benefit by spraying the Gly, releasing that warm season 100%. Grass.
Not because we're expecting them to bed on it, but because it's just going to provide that security.
It goes against everything that we talk about. Deer don't want a monoculture.
Right.
They don't. They want to get up, they want to browse, and they want to lay back down.
I'm so excited about I think if we can get that sprayed in time, that's going to have a massive impact this year.
I would agree.
A big one.
Yeah. The more insulated the farm is, doesn't matter what size it is, the more secure the deer will feel on the farm.
Yeah.
Like they're tied hand in hand.
I really wonder, like, I'd love to see like a proving grounds scenario where it's like, and I don't know where is the best example of this. I meant for some reason Mississippi comes to mind, where it's like where there's like nothing, like
vast,
like
nothing?
No timber for miles.
You're talking like Mississippi Delta type thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's and see in that situation, I guess you're gonna have a better of this already. But like, what kind of situation where you could go into literally a vacant piece of dirt, and could you build a deer herd there? Could you put food there could you put cover in the form of, I think that's where our question is, what is the cover? Grasses and stuff. And obviously, water hole, all that you can bring in there. Can you manifest a huntable deer population out of nothing?
I mean, my mind drifts to Western Kansas, where it is grass fields and alfalfa pivots. Like, there is no trees out there, really. Mm-hmm. It is vast grasslands and alfalfa. And there's not a giant deer populations, but there's some giants in the deer population.
Yeah, and I guess I don't know what I'm trying to pit, but like, will they leave timber in surrounding? If there's timber a mile in any direction, but within this bubble, I've got it's just this exclusive, whatever
food
we're
and
building
grasses.
here. Will they come out of that timber and live in this stuff?
I think in certain parts of the year they will, but I don't think the whole year they will. Which is okay. Like, you only want to influence them during the hunting season, right? And I think parts of that season, the problem is no matter where you go, no matter what you plant, no matter what you feed, the majority of the deer's diet is still going to be browse for half of the year plus.
Well, that's fine. I'm saying plant the browse.
What are you going to you're going to plant, like trees and stuff, like shrubs and
Maybe
trees?
That's part of my test question.
Yeah, no doubt. Yes, you could. Absolutely. I was thinking you were just talking about purely grasses and like food plots. Oh no! I mean, if you create
whatever you want to plant,
yes, you absolutely could.
Yeah.
That's so, and it takes time. But on the flip side of that, if you went into an old farm in the Mississippi Delta, you stop farming for 5 years, what grows in replace of that would be probably the best deer habitat around.
Right.
So
wish that happened up here.
It's kind of weird. I don't have a good answer because we drive by them. Like, I drive by places where I'm like, that's what I want.
Yeah.
I don't know how long it's taken and how long it's been abandoned. Like that.
I wonder how long you just need to actively manage for like the non-desirables. Like, it's where I'm at, it's cool seasons. They just keep coming back.
Yeah, the pasture, the fescues.
I'm like, is that the thing? Do I just need to spray that thing every April or October with Glide?
Yep. And you're going to have other disturbed plants come up, but eventually woody, briars and stuff is going to take the place, and young trees are going to take the place of that. And yeah, but I think you just have to constantly suppress the rest that's there. That's why those crop fields grow, I think, so fast, is because they've already nuked the fescues and pasture grasses and stuff out of there. Years and years of agriculture have done that.
Interesting.
So what's left over in the seed bed is probably more hardy, but gets continually suppressed because of the farming practices.
I feel like I think if we can answer that question, like, we will have reached such a milestone in this podcast of just what is the seed combination.
I don't think you plant it. That's the problem. I think it is if you want to lean on them for anything, it is Craig Harper's Let It Go. It exists naturally there. But it takes time, which no deer hunter has patience for. Because it could be 10 years of fallow field growth.
Well, and yeah. So then what are the things to expert? That's where I know, like, a Sturgis would advocate for some switch inclusion of that.
A lot of people would advocate, based on what we're learning now, spraying of the cool seasons.
Yeah.
And potentially fire at some point.
We're gonna have Skip back on here in the next month or so to talk about all of that. And I think just.
I'm not that far. I've got him as 4. This will be year 5 of a 5-acre and a 4-acre fallow field that I've done nothing to. Like, have not touched them at all.
How do they look?
Starting to grow some briars and stuff in them. About 3.5 to 4 feet tall.
You know what mine are doing? They're all reverting back to cool seasons.
Yep.
Like, there was broadleafs mainly in there. Like I said, we just don't have the warm season grass.
No, it's not native.
It's just not native there
in the seed bank.
So we got in some of that. The stems of the broadleafs and stuff are 4 or 5 foot tall.
Yeah.
But now it's like you can see through all of it, and it's like, and just all you see now is the cool season's coming back.
I think I'd kill them.
Just reverting back to cool season.
Yep. I think that cool season seed bank is deep.
I think I'm going to reset this year. So I missed the time, and I've got other projects going on here for those. So I'm going to let those go through this summer. I think I'm going to spray those in October. And hopefully by then have a plan for probably to plant something into that, so to integrate some sort of a warm season, something the following year.
Yep. I may spray mine in the next 2 weeks in Kentucky. That'll be the first time I've done anything with those fallow fields. And just to knock the cool seasons back.
Yeah. Well, frankly, this switch project I'm talking about, it is one of those fields. So that's the plan.
There you go.
I did it with Simazine, whether that was necessary or not in March, I don't know, but I'm going to hit that this Friday. With Gly. And then I'm going to hit it again next month and also 2,4-D. And then drill into it mid to end of May.
Yep. Yeah. So, I mean, I think that, I think the unfortunate answer I keep coming back to is if you're planning it, it's probably not going to be the best, but it might be better than what you have.
Yeah.
I think that's the option.
Yeah.
It's like, it's truly fallow.
And that may be better than waiting 10 years.
Yeah, absolutely. It is. Yeah. I mean, 10 years is a long time to wait. And then
because then it's like 10 plus 5.
What happens if it fails?
Yeah.
You waited 10 years and it never does.
It's a minimum 15 years to have a 5-year-old buck using your stuff.
Yeah. So I think that now some of these fast growing tree plantings like willows and things like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm talking about. Your willows, your red oaks, your dogwoods.
Absolutely. But then you take the fire aspect out of that management of it.
I don't think fire is as important as some people have made it seem, personally. I think that you can handle most of it with chemical.
I think fire in the woods is critical.
Big deal.
Yep. Yeah. And very underutilized.
Because of the leaf litter. Yeah.
Exactly. Yep, exactly. So
yeah. We're learning, dude.
We'd like to think so.
We're learning.
I got that big backpack steel blower that I'm gonna burn some timber here in April and May during the because I'm out of it as of yesterday in Kentucky. Yeah. I can burn whatever I want.
I think looking forward to the next year here, I think some of the bigger steps that we will have understood maybe how to handle is a coordinated team effort with electronic backpack sprayers for invasives in the woods prior to a burn, prior to a release.
Yeah, anything. Yeah.
TSI.
Yeah. I saw a couple mentions of cutting it like with a brush hog and stuff. That'd be really tough to get up in those woods.
Yeah, that's going to be challenging anywhere.
Yep. I think nuking it is the best way to and are you going to get full control? No. But I mean, if you knock it back even 50%, that's huge.
Big deal. Just give everything else time.
Yep.
To get in there.
Yep.
I did cut the last of my standing, I mean, I don't know if I can call it corn, but I had stalks.
Oh, yeah.
In Ohio. I went and cut that.
Mowed it.
The other day at the turkey hunt. So I got a clean slate to go and I thought about spraying that like twice in advance, but I think, no, I'm just going to spray it and drill it.
Because you're putting Roundup Ready beans in, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, I'm going to spray it once, and then I'll spray it again when I put 3-18-18 on it in plot boost in whatever, June or July. Yeah.
You should see some of my switch, man.
Looking good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Be interested to see if it hits like that 5 or 6 foot mark this year.
Me too. Really curious.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I feel good. Timber looked good. Amazing how much light's hitting the ground in Ohio. Looks good. Clover plots.
You're
going
to
kill
a big
really
deer
well
on that Ohio place this year, I think.
Man, I sent you that picture of that 3-year-old. If that deer made it through, I would be an absolute slob at
Splits
4.
McGee.
But I'm stoked about that property. The big thing that I've got left, so I've got a guy, Matt Stewart, who's a deer grow dealer down there. I paid for beans and fertilizer. He's gonna drill my bean fields, so that'll save me a pile of time down there. I'm going to spend the time that I would have done with that putting in like 3 or 4 water holes up on the top ridges.
You're going to run the machine, or what are you going to do?
Yeah, probably. Maybe get a skid steer or something in there and just...
That's the machine.
Yep. Get them in and hopefully they're all clay-based soils up there, so I think I'll probably put some bentonite in there.
I would. And I would do that
the
day of.
Yep. And then just working in there and then...
Better safe than sorry.
Yep.
Just to have it.
Yep. That's what I did with the one behind the house, and it's been awesome. Has had water ever since.
It's fun. It's fun making water holes, dude.
Critical piece of it. So I'll have on all of those are all clover plots up at the top. I'll still have to spray those at some point for grasses and stuff, but then I'll have coordinated water holes near where I expect my stand locations. And then that farm's pretty turnkey. I mean, if the beans fail, I'll come in and do some brassicas and stuff in it. But beyond that, like, I won't have much with that farm. Kentucky's I got the most. So I'm going to, in the next week or two, I'm going to go down and spray because I'm putting in about 3 acres of standing corn down there, Roundup Ready corn.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put that in early May, early to mid-May, and then I'll put my beans in around Memorial Day down there.
When's Memorial Day?
25th, 26th of May.
Yeah. We need to plan a trip back out to Illinois for then too.
Yep. And then I'll be in good shape out there. I've got a couple water holes I want to put in out there, but whenever. But yeah, no, I mean, I feel, and yeah, I want to do a couple small timber burns when the conditions are right to just see how that works. But yeah, man, I mean, just trying to delegate. That's the key is like, when you got to plant beans in one place, you got to plant them in all places. So it's just delegating time and effort and resources into it. And, just making sure we don't get distracted with everything else along the way from a work side.
It's a team effort. It's amazing what getting the right person on the phone can do, where it's like, we feel so helpless sometimes. We're like, I'm 10 hours away. What am I going to do? I haul a machine out there and I need this and that. And I'm like, you get the right co-op, the right, custom farmer, somebody to help you, the right contractor, frankly, on our house
That's
side of
huge,
things.
Man. I mean, I think it's because our nature has been do it ourselves.
Yeah.
And from a time standpoint, like, it doesn't make sense. Like, what's it going to cost us to spray these big fields?
$350.
Yeah, for 40 acres of CRP fields.
Yeah.
It would cost us $350 for gas one way.
Just to get there.
Yeah.
I guess plus chemical. So whatever.
Yeah. We would have had to bought anyways.
$700-800.
Yeah.
Probably.
Same with like my beans. Like I think it's going to end up costing me $600 to drill the beans.
Yeah.
By the time I would have hooked my tractor up and hauled it down there and spent the day doing that.
Yeah.
No brainer.
Yeah.
So, I think that most people's nature is like, I need to do all this. I have to do this. It's figure out how to delegate.
It takes
the things.
time. You don't just have those contacts. I mean, that's what takes time and that's network. Oh, so-and-so can help with that. Oh, they did so-and-so's place. And we actually gave them some business over here and this and that. So it's cool because you get to kind of be a part of the community out there,
which is valuable.
Yeah. Like that, the lady at the co-op there, she knows who I am. You know what I mean?
We buy a lot of chemicals.
I've seen her in person 3 times, but
we spend money. We
have impression with her.
We drive clear out from Pennsylvania here to deer hunt. Like she knows
who we are.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the thing is I think that if you can find the reliable people to help you get that accomplished at the end of the day, that will free you up to do things that you absolutely do have to do versus the stuff that you'd like to do and you feel the need to, but for $600 for $350, that saves us a whole trip to then come back in May and do beans and actually drill switch and stuff that we need to do.
There's things that I don't trust people with, and that putting seed in the ground is one of them.
Yep. Yeah, but to go and just spray Gly on,
go for it.
Knock yourself out.
Can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah, mix it hot.
Makes it hot. Yeah, that's it. So, yeah, man, I think that's a huge piece of it. So, yeah, excited to start to see some movement there on those sides. Was starting to see, you sent me a picture this morning from Illinois, starting to see some growth popping.
Nubbed up.
Yeah, so, yeah, it's that time of year, man. It's cool to start to get the green up going and start seeing progress. I mean, before you know it, we'll be starting to say, hey, that's a good deer. Like, I don't know who that is, but that he's putting something together there.
It really is not that far away.
No, like literally 4 to 6 weeks, and you'll start to see branching out and things starting to be like that deer. You'll know if a deer is going to be substantial or not. Mm-hmm. That's exciting.
It is, because
that's the kind of extra fuel you need to start to like do the final legs on some of these things. Oh. So, yeah, man, that's kind of all we got for right now. Just grinding it out.
Quick and dirty.
I'm going to turkey hunt in Kentucky with the kids this weekend, and I haven't been down to the farm here in a few weeks, so interested to see. Key on that one is I'm bringing a couple 6x6s and my auger, so I'm putting up a gate.
Oh, word. Where?
On my new farm in Kentucky that I've
you brought under a contract there?
No.
Your neighbor?
The one I've already owned, the new one. I don't have a gate on that farm, and I've seen people have abused that. So gates going up. Okay. So that'd be a critical stop there.
Get your concrete.
Yep. The old Quikrete. Yeah, that'll be. So I'll at least get the post in, Quikrete, and then probably the next trip down I'll actually put the gate up and stuff. But then that'll be a good peace of mind on that side.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but anyways, that's all we got for this week on Farm Companion, and we appreciate you guys listening and writing us with questions. But we'll catch y'all next week.
Farm Companion.
Take me